Good afternoon. Happy Thursday. I am super excited about what is going to happen right here. I didn't actually give anybody a heads up other than the person that I'm hoping is going to join me here shortly. But I just wanted to interview somebody today. Her name is Brigette. Hopefully she's going to pop on here live shortly. And I just want to chat with a real person in whatever season of life they find themselves, because I know that there are a variety of people that will see this, right? There are a variety of people who are in different seasons. Maybe they're a brand new believer. Maybe they're a seasoned believer. Maybe they're going through a tough time. Maybe they're going through a cakewalk. Maybe they're a homeschooling mom of 7. Maybe they're a busy CEO of a business. Maybe they're a pastor or a leader in their community. And so I just want to interview Brigette. I have a couple questions with her. She's going to tell you her story. But I think it is absolutely past time for the church to just rely on the sermons that their pastors preach each and every Sunday. Now, are we grateful for our pastors? Yes. But I believe that you and I have got to learn how to dig into the word, how to be trained and equipped into the things of God, and to really be activated out into our communities. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her on now, and we're just going to have a little dialogue. There we go. I hope she's going to join me on camera. Let's see if it works. Okay. Hello, Miss Brigette.
Hi, Amber.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Very good. So I was thinking about you. I think I reached out to you yesterday or the day before. And I remember last summer we had lunch together, you and I. And you reached out and you were like, I think what you said to me was, you're one of 2 people I know that love Jesus. And so we just sat across the table. And I remember just listening to you about your excitement and what was going on. And so in our conversation, I remember you saying something to the fact, and you can, correct me if I'm misquoting you, because I certainly don't want to, but you said, I'm just so hungry to learn. It's almost like I want to go to Bible college. Do you remember saying that?
Yeah.
And I thought, this is a divine appointment, because you didn't know what I had stirring in my spirit. And so lo and behold, I invited you to KINEO, and we don't need to go too much about, that and all the things, but what did make you want to, like you said, just learn more?
Well, so I had an encounter with Jesus in 2014, got baptized in 2015, and then didn't really know what to do. Felt really uncomfortable at church because I had never really been. And there was just a Jesus-sized hole in my heart. You know what I mean? And I think everybody has that hasn't found Jesus.
Yeah.
There's just something that we're trying to fill that's only filled by Jesus. And there was just this like nudging or pulling by Jesus that was like, I want to know you. And so, he brought you into my life a little more, like you said, divine appointment. Just he works in really cool ways. And there was a reluctancy to say yes to KINEO because I thought it was maybe here and I was like here. Sure. But wow, there was so much breakthrough in the last year and year one. And I'm busy. I don't have kiddos like you, but we have a restaurant and we have a full plate of life on things that we're a part of and things that we do. And KINEO fit in super duper well. And there was times that it was stressful and I was like, I don't know, is this too much for my plate? But I'm super glad I stuck with it. Now looking back, I'm almost like, I feel like that might've been the enemy coming in, trying to like get a wedge between me and Jesus to separate.
Yeah.
The last year has been so incredible, and the hole in my heart from a year ago has definitely been filled.
Wow. Let me just pause because maybe people don't know, but Brigette is about to actually graduate year 1 of KINEO. So she's speaking live right here, right? And it's interesting that you just brought that up, because you said something like, there were times where I thought, should I be done? Should I quit? Right? And now you're kind of recognizing maybe that was the enemy. I mean, imagine the nuggets, and you haven't even shared any, but imagine the nuggets that you've gotten. He surely didn't want you to have that ground to stand on. He didn't want you to have those rich nuggets in your pocket, that solid and sure foundation, right? And so he's like, oh, Brigette, this is, whatever lie he tells you. He's just so sneaky like that.
Busy to do this.
Yes. Yes. Because like you said, you're a business owner, right? You've got your hands in all these different things, and you've got a lot on your plate, like any Western person, I think, right? In the Western culture. Yes. So what would you say when it comes to KINEO, what impacted you most with your walk with Jesus?
Communicating with him was huge breakthrough. Because I remember thinking people were crazy, like, oh, you talk to God?
Yeah, talk about that.
You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, you sound like a crazy person when you say that, right? And then realizing that we can talk to God, and really thinking it was like a one-way, where I'm like praying to him for everything that I need. When really it's like this relationship and conversation with God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit, and inviting all three in, and really having this breakthrough of like, he's not audible for a lot of people. And I think my expectation was this audible, like thundering, booming moment. And that's not how he talks to me. It's super quiet.
Yeah.
And it's like visions and free flow of thought and idea that I'm just like, this is really good. Like, where is this coming from? You know what I mean? And just having a breakthrough where I feel like I have an intimate relationship with God, and we do converse.
Yeah.
In two ways. It's not just one way. So that was huge for me. And then honestly, and I feel a little embarrassed admitting this, but I didn't know that Jesus was real. I thought it was a fairy tale. Like that's how I just didn't grow up with it at all. So learning about the history and how backed up the Bible is, and this might not make sense to anybody, but in my little new to Jesus brain, I was like, so this cool little book that you kind of put together is backed up by all of this history and archaeological stuff, and just all this like really neat culture that I got, like Jewish culture. There were so many things that I was like, this is really interesting. Like, I feel like I'm in history class and I didn't know this was history.
Yeah, and I didn't even like history in school. Like, we went to high school together. I wasn't a fan. But I want to point out something that I think is really relatable to anybody who's watching live or the replay. How many of you, and even just in the comments, let us know, when people talk about hearing God, you're thinking like, oh, I don't hear God. Like, how are they hearing God? Like, they're a crazy person, like Brigette just said. Or sometimes we buy into the lie that they're just more special. They just have arrived. They are more spiritual. And so whether it's one or the other, or maybe something else, just like Brigette said, that's real talk there. She literally heard people say they hear from the Lord, and she's like, you're crazy. Like, God doesn't talk to you, right? You must be crazy. But then I love too how you literally said, okay, wait a minute. I just watched history connect, and how Jesus fits in so like, he's all over history. But do you remember in KINEO, and I don't want to ruin it for anybody who might start year 1 in September, but do you remember the coffee beans? Do you remember that YouTube clip? It's just so like, so good. So communing with God, dialoguing with him, and that he really is a real person. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, Pastor Karen was incredible. My mind was blown in so many different ways on a regular basis. And, just Tuesday night from 4 to 6, it just fit how my life was impacted from once a week for 2 hours has been very special.
That's amazing.
The first semester I was traveling all over the place and super busy. And I think I had like a C-. And I struggled with that too, not being really good at what I was doing and wanting to give up because I'm not getting a A+. So it is interesting how the enemy comes in and tries to talk you out of things.
Right.
Because everything that I put my hands on, and I felt like I was struggling, but bounced back for sure.
And we certainly do want to strive for excellence, but in the same sense, I'm
Yeah.
sitting here thinking, okay, the grade that we want and the nuggets that we're getting that make Jesus real in the day to day, like there is no comparison to that, you know, an A is great, but oh my goodness, to talk to him and feel like he's really truly touching you and you're touching him.
Yeah.
Like what is above an A? I don't even know.
Yeah. And
I
all
don't
the
even know.
I recommend the books that we read to everybody, like the
Yeah.
Blood Covenant and like the Dust of the Rabbi's Feet or whatever. Like all these books, I'm like the Beta Satan. I'm just like, these are just something that I keep rereading because of all the goodness in them. So I'm just grateful for KINEO on just different levels.
I love that. So this might feel like the same question. So if you feel like it is, let me know. But what do you feel like the biggest takeaway from KINEO is? So I know we talked about what impacted you the most when it comes to your walk with the Lord, but what do you think your biggest takeaway from KINEO is? Or what would you say?
I think my biggest takeaway is going to be similar, just this, I guess, the similarity of the question, but that I can't wait for next year, and that my like intimate relationship with Jesus has finally arrived. And I don't know
So
if I would have found that if it wasn't for KINEO, that I get to have like a close personal relationship with him. And, you know, getting me involved in churches in different ways, and how fulfilling it is to be of service and volunteer at churches and be a part of ministries, and just minister to other women and men, mostly women, but being able to like stop and pray for people. So just that intimate, whole filled relationship that I get to have. KINEO really, I mean, I'm reaching out to, you know, people like the girlfriends I have like you that love Jesus. My community is so much bigger now.
Praise God.
But KINEO was definitely, I would say, the glue that really introduced me to Jesus and allowed us to start to have like a really close relationship.
It's so good. That's so good. So talk to them. This is probably my last question. I don't want to make this too long, but I so appreciate your time and just the real talk, Brigette. It's so refreshing. So tell me this. There's somebody on here watching live or the replay, and they're thinking, I'm way too new to this Jesus stuff. This is going to be way above me. Like, I kind of want to do it because what Brigette is saying like speaks to me. Like I want what she's gotten over the past 9 months. But in their head, they're talking themselves out of it because they're just too new or they don't know enough. You know what I mean? What would you say to them?
KINEO is the perfect place to start. I'm actually talking to several girls, my mom, my friend Jackie, who lives in Oklahoma, and another gal down in Portland, that this is such a great place because Pastor Karen and you just do such a good job of like leading you. Like it's like somebody's holding your hand and walking you through this stuff. So it's just been the perfect like foundation.
Love it.
So
I love it.
I mean, and I like if I can do KINEO, I think anybody can, because I was so new and so skeptical and just so uncomfortable around people that love Jesus. There's like a degree of vulnerability that comes with loving Jesus that like this is private. I don't need to be around anybody to experience it. And just having this new community and realizing that I need community too in this walk with Jesus, and people that'll pray for me and reach out to me and check on me. It's super important. So this is like the perfect place to start. And I want everybody to do it. And I just can't wait for year 2. Like I'm so excited.
Yes, I literally, and I know for all y'all who are on and you're like, okay, I just need year 1, but Brigette, this is just me and you right now pretending nobody else is here. I just need that tabernacle course. Like I need her to go into the tabernacle and tell me all the things, right? And so just the way that she opened up just the culture of Jesus's day. And I've been to Israel. I've walked where Jesus was, and that was precious. But I want to go back now that I know what I know through KINEO. And so, yes, year 2 will be fire. So let me wrap this up just by saying, first of all, thank you for your time. Thank you for being willing for me to just ask you some questions, being raw and vulnerable to that. And I'll let you have a last word if you have that too. But for anybody who's considering, again, we are all on our own walk and our own journey. And wherever you are, if you just want to know more, or like Brigette said, a solid and sure foundation, that is so vital in the times that we're in. Times are uncertain. They feel tumultuous. They feel dire, right? Get yourself a sure, solid foundation of hope, especially an intimate relationship with the one, just like she talked about, that you can have that communion back and forth. So registration is July 1st through the 31st. I want to make sure that you know that. You can always reach out to me. Be happy to help you. We launched a campus in the Pacific Northwest last summer. That campus is fire. But we also have 30 and possibly more on the radar that will launch this fall. So KINEO is expanding, and I think it is just a true testament to the fact that all we want, our mission and purpose, is to see anybody in the body of Christ gain some solid teaching so that they can be equipped and trained so that they can be activated. Because this world needs hope and it needs love. And if you and I can't be the hands and the feet of Jesus, who will be? So thank you so much. If you do have any final words before I let you go.
Todd Smith's book, God's Glory, got me super fired up. And that was the introduction book. That book radically changed my life. I love it. I did not think I was going to do more than year one, and I can't wait. It's like the perfect little nuggets and breadcrumbs and foundation. So if anybody's on the fence, totally do it. It's like, there's revival happening in America. And I think KINEO is such a big, special part of it. So I'm fired up for year two.
It's so good. It's so good. And also when you do the KINEO, you can do either degree. We offer a bachelor's of biblical studies. If that feels way too much, just do the program. Okay. Your life will be changed. So just know there's an option for everybody. We love you all. Thank you so much, Brigette. Mwah. So good to see your beautiful face, and enjoy your weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.